A final push for votes on this night before the election. What Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are telling voters as Americans prepare to choose a new president.
We're also keeping a close eye on the race for the U.S. Senate as incumbent Rand Paul and challenger Jim Gray flew around the state today to rally supporters.
Everything's dry, and that's what hay bales do when they burn.
Hay fueled a large fire that damaged a Laurel County business tonight.
This is WKYT News at 11.
Good evening to you. The new week began with warm temperatures and sunshine, but don't expect that to last much longer.
Election day will start dry, but some changes will move in later in the day. We begin tonight with WKYT's chief meteorologist Chris Bailey and your no-wait weather forecast.
Guys, I think a lot of people would vote for some wetter changes right now. That is indeed what we have coming tomorrow, late in the day into tomorrow night. Right now, temperatures have briefly dropped into the low and mid 40s, but as clouds increase from the west, if anything tonight, your thermometers may come up a few degrees between now and 6 or 7 tomorrow morning. You can see those clouds on your Defender radar network getting into parts of central Kentucky now. The farther west that we go, we see the thicker overcast leading to a little rain as close by as the Boot Hill of Missouri into parts of Memphis, Tennessee. A little wave of low pressure developing on top of a cold front has chilly air coming in behind it. By tomorrow late in the day, that is right on top of central and eastern Kentucky. That election day forecast will start you out in the 40s. 66 at noon, then the temperatures start to come down a little bit as clouds thicken up, and it's between 5 and 8 o'clock. We'll see some gusty showers rolling on into town by this time tomorrow night. Much of the region will likely see at least scattered showers with temperatures dropping toward the 50-degree mark. When I come back at 11:13, guys, we've got changes on the way with showers and a much colder weather pattern.
Thank you, Chris. After a year and a half of rallies, debates, and controversies, it all comes down to tomorrow. Millions of voters will have their say on Election Day.
Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump are spending this election eve trying to reach as many voters as they can in those all-important battleground states. Weijia Jiang begins our Campaign 2016 team coverage.
Some of the biggest stars in politics and pop culture joined Hillary Clinton at Independence Hall for a last-minute push for votes in the battleground state of Pennsylvania.
America's best days are still ahead of us if we reach for them together.
Clinton will hold another star-studded rally at midnight in North Carolina, where she's tied with Donald Trump. Trump also campaigned in Raleigh.
Now it's up to the American people.
He needs the state's electoral votes to help him win the White House. Trump's tour of 5 battleground states ends tonight in Michigan with running mate Mike Pence.
We are just one day away from the change you've been waiting for your entire life.
Both presidential candidates will watch the election night returns in New York City. Clinton's headquarters will be here at the Javits Convention Center, and Trump's will be at a hotel just over a mile away. Clinton has an advantage in the Electoral College thanks to reliably Democratic states, something Trump would need to overcome.
What he's got to do is flip places like Florida for himself, like Ohio, and then also not just North Carolina, but maybe one of those reliably blue states.
We'll know how some of those states will go when the polls start closing at 7 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. Weijia Jiang, CBS News, New York.
Republican U.S. Senator Rand Paul and his Democratic challenger Jim Gray wrapped up a busy day of campaigning tonight. The two men made multiple stops around the state on this election eve. Senator Paul predicted big Republican victories in Kentucky tomorrow, while Gray said he'll bring change to Washington. WKYT's Garrett Weimer continues our Campaign 2016 team coverage.
Wow. Greeted by a home crowd in the city he serves as mayor, Jim Gray again attacked Rand Paul with what's become a colorful catchphrase of his.
I reject the extreme, wild-ass ideas and theories and philosophies of Rand Paul.
Pledging to end Washington gridlock, Gray said Paul is part of the problem. He urged supporters to get out and vote.
You guys have brought us this far. And now what we know is every vote counts.
Jim Gray's Lexington rally was his 9th and final campaign stop of the day. Rand Paul also traveled all over the Commonwealth, making 8 stops.
Rand Paul.
Wrapping up the day in Bowling Green, Paul talked about the role of government.
The one thing that our founding fathers understood was that power is a corrupting influence, that we don't want too much power centralized in Washington. We don't want too much power centralized in the hands of one person.
Paul also talked about the presidential race throughout the day, calling Hillary Clinton dishonest. In Louisville, he predicted big conservative victories across the Commonwealth, including a Republican takeover of the state house.
Kentucky is poised to become a conservative state for the rest of our lives starting tomorrow.
Polls open at 6 a.m. In Lexington, Garrett Weimer, WKYT.
And here's what else we'll be tracking on Election Day. In Kentucky's 6th congressional district race, incumbent Republican Andy Barr will face Democratic challenger Nancy Jo Kemper. Democrats and Republicans will battle for control of Kentucky State House, which has had a Democratic majority since 1921. Democrats currently hold a 6-seat advantage. As for voter turnout, Kentucky's Secretary of State Allison Lundergan Grimes predicts 60% of the state's registered voters will head to the polls tomorrow. Stay with WKYT tomorrow for complete election coverage. We'll have special coverage on air, online, and on our Facebook page. We'll have the first results on air when the polls close at 6 tomorrow night. You'll also find a complete list of results on WKYT.com.
Tonight, firefighters are still on the scene of a fire that damaged a Laurel County business. That fire started late this afternoon in a storage building at Benj Farm Supply on East 4th Street in London. Firefighters say hay inside that building has been fueling the fire. Our Monique Blair has the latest.
Right now I'm standing behind Benj Farm Supply's main building, and what you see burning behind me here is actually several dozens of barrels of hay and some farm equipment.
Actually, we saw the black smoke before we were paged out. We were outside the fire department, saw something, and we're heading this way already.
More than 50 firefighters worked to contain the fire.
Got over and discovered it wasn't only hay, it was some farm equipment as well. It was all in a covered building. And
City of London Fire Department Captain Tony Brown says there is no reason to believe this fire is suspicious, but at this time they don't know how it started. He says that investigation won't begin until this fire is out. The good news, he says, is that no one was hurt.
All the workers were around it, but no one was inside or anywhere that close where they would be injured.
Now, firefighters say although they do have this fire contained to this area right now, there's a good chance that they will still be out here Tuesday morning because there are just so many barrels of hay that it will take a while to put this fire completely out. In London, Monique Blair, WKYT.
According to Benj Farm Supply's website, the company has been in business since the 1920s and in London since the 1930s. Again, the main building was not affected by the fire.
New tonight, we now know the names of 3 people killed in a crash in Bell County today. State police say 32-year-old Brian Redmond, 32-year-old Kendra Redmond, and 4-year-old Kelsey Redmond died in the crash this afternoon on US 25E near Pineville. They say the family's car hit the back of a tractor trailer that had broken down on the side of the road. Police are still trying to figure out what led to that crash.
Tonight, firefighters in eastern Kentucky are still battling dozens of wildfires. The Kentucky Division of Forestry says there were 21 active fires at the beginning of today, and 21 new fires broke out. Firefighters put out 7 of them. They say that more than 15,000 acres have burned. The Kentucky National Guard has been helping put some of those fires out by using helicopters to drop water from above.
And when they fill the bucket up with 660 gallons of water, they'll fly over the fire. And one of the National Guard people in the helicopter will push the black button here, and by pushing the black button, releases this cable, and the bottom of the bucket will release and open up.
Fires can be hard to see through clouds of smoke, so the National Guard uses infrared sensors on the helicopters which detect differences in heat, and that helps them find the exact location of the fires. In Harlan County, the judge executive says more than 8,000 acres are still burning tonight. County leaders say the largest fire is between the Nolensburg and Dion communities. They say that forestry crews are also setting some controlled burns in the forest to get rid of fallen trees and other debris that would fuel the wildfires.
Some teenagers say they were assaulted at a Lexington restaurant, and they feel it was because of their race. In 9 minutes, how the restaurant and police are responding.
And then how state police stopped a driver they say led them on a long chase in a tractor-trailer rig today.
Now, your hour-by-hour forecast with Chief Meteorologist Chris Bailey.
Very nice weather day out there across central and eastern Kentucky. The problem with that, obviously, we're just so darn dry, and those fires continue to rage into parts of eastern Kentucky. You can smell the smoke all the way into central Kentucky from fires hundreds of miles away, and I think you're still going to smell some smoke around into the day tomorrow. Let's look at temperatures where you have clear skies in the central Kentucky. The readings have absolutely dropped into the low and mid 40s. To the west, though, the 50s are pushing back in as clouds increase. So you can see where the clouds are out there just based on the temperatures. Tomorrow, your election day, a little smoke is going to be around again. Cold front, though, will bring some showers second half of the day into tomorrow night. Now, overall, it is a much colder weather pattern. Not that that takes a lot, but this pattern is slowly now starting to trend colder and colder, and over the next few weeks, we're going to go below normal. Cloud cover across central and western Kentucky continuing to work its way on into town. A little bit of juice coming up the mighty Mississippi River, more in the way of moisture off to our west. There's that spin we were talking about at 6 o'clock tonight. Chilly air coming in behind it. That's a cold front. And it's not the strongest front in the world, folks. It does not get this big surge of Gulf of Mexico moisture out ahead of it that we'd like to see, but it has at least a little bit, and that bodes well for the possibility of maybe a quarter to, dare I say, a half-inch local. That would be the absolute max out of this. Many of us may wind up a tenth of an inch to a quarter of an inch as we go through Wednesday. Hour-by-hour forecast, brand new. Let's look at it together. Tonight into tomorrow morning, temperatures level off. 45 to 50 may actually come up a little bit. Noon tomorrow, clouds are in. Winds are gusty. We'll hit the mid-60s into many areas. Then look what happens at 6 o'clock as the polls are closing. A little bit of light rain begins to develop across parts of central and northern Kentucky. Then as we go into the evening through 8, 9, 10, 11 o'clock, notice scattered showers into many areas. I hope this happens, because the rain on this particular model run increases across southeastern Kentucky. That would be exactly what we would need. Wouldn't completely put out every fire, but boy, oh boy, that would certainly help, wouldn't it? 7 o'clock Wednesday morning, clouds are going to be awfully stubborn. That's a chilly flow. Look at noontime on Wednesday, mid and upper 40s. Do think we can reach the low 50s into parts of central Kentucky with just enough sunshine on Wednesday, but if the clouds hang in there where you live, how about the 40s that'll show up for an afternoon temperature? 11 o'clock Wednesday evening, upper 30s, and there is a chill in the air. We'll likely hit freezing or below to start the day on Thursday, with sunshine and 50s coming your way after that. There's an even colder air mass waiting in the wings for the weekend. Late on Veterans Day, we're going to see a cold front diving in with high pressure behind it. That will take control of the weather for our Saturday and into our Sunday, and that will likely bring us the coldest air we've had so far this fall season as we go toward the weekend. Here's that 7-day forecast. Again, most of tomorrow's dry until the late afternoon and early evening with a shower chance. It's early in the day on Wednesday. We have the best risk of rain into southeastern Kentucky. Veterans Day, thank you, veterans. Looks really good, 57 degrees, chill in the air for the weekend. First 20s of the year, guys.
But great weather for voting up till 6 p.m.
Yeah, I think we're in most areas. Should be A-OK to vote tomorrow.
Okay, good. Thanks, Chris.
Well, if you are stressed about tomorrow's election, doctors have some tips for calming your nerves. That's in 8 minutes.
Keep up with the latest news on WKYT.com. Join the conversation on Twitter and become a part of the WKYT Facebook family.
They say they just went inside to use the restroom, but some teenagers tell us they were assaulted at a Lexington restaurant by some of the workers.
And they say this assault was racially motivated. Lexington police say they're now investigating. WKYT's Monique Blair has the story new at 11.
On Saturday, around 7 o'clock, a group of teenage girls was having a downtown photo shoot when they stopped into Portofino's to quickly change their clothes.
As we were leaving, the manager comes over and he grabs me like this and he says, "Let me see what's in your bag."
17-year-old Queen Gates says the manager, a white man, accused the girls of stealing a waitress's jacket. Gates says the waitress then walked up and made a comment about her jacket being stolen.
There were only black people in here. They had to steal it.
Gates says she and her friends immediately felt they were being racially profiled by both the waitress and the manager.
For our skin to make it like we stole something just because we're the only black people inside the place, that was it.
After showing the manager inside her bag and that she did not have the jacket, Gates says she and her friends left. Just a few moments later, Gates says the waitress came outside yelling racial slurs, and the manager again demanded to see inside Gates's bag. She says when she showed him what was inside her bag, she says he still pulled her hair and pushed her to the ground. At that time, Gates says her friend Crystal Flowers tried to step in to help, but she says the manager punched Crystal and pushed her off of him, leaving a mark on her face. A few moments later, police showed up.
Us being black, we don't want to scare people because of our skin.
Police tell us they are investigating this incident and are taking the allegations seriously, but have received conflicting statements as to how Flowers' injury happened. We reached out to Portofino's but have not heard back. The owner released a statement to the Herald Leader saying, quote, "For 25 years, our restaurants have been supporters of diversity and tolerance. If there is a problem, we'll find it and fix it." End quote. Nobody has been charged at this time. Gates says at this point she feels helpless.
But they can scream racial slurs at someone, and they can do that to people, and they can treat someone that way, and it doesn't matter.
In Lexington,
he hated us, and he didn't even know us.
Monique Blair, WKYT.
Lexington police say a fourth-degree assault report was taken, and it is being investigated.
New tonight, the Kentucky Transportation Cabinet has issued an emergency order for truckers hauling gasoline. The order temporarily allows those workers to work longer hours. This is in response to a gas pipeline explosion in Alabama last week. The Transportation Cabinet hopes the order will avoid a gas supply disruption in Kentucky.
New tonight, state police say a tractor-trailer driver led them on a nearly 70-mile chase on Interstate 65. Police say they tried to stop 42-year-old Hussein Ali for a random safety inspection near Bowling Green, but they say Ali would not pull over. Police say they used spike strips to finally stop the truck in Hardin County. They arrested Ali and charged him with fleeing and evading and wanton endangerment.
If you are stressed out about the election, doctors say you are not alone. The American Psychological Association found more than half of voters surveyed say the presidential election is a significant source of concern. And doctors say they've seen high levels of stress among both Democrats and Republicans. They say this kind of stress can lead to heart palpitations and difficulty sleeping.
So a person may have uncontrollable anxiety, uncontrollable worry, uncontrollable fear that what is going to happen if A or B wins or loses.
Doctors suggest taking frequent breaks from social media, going for a walk, playing with a pet, and avoiding political debates with family and friends.
Not the easiest thing all the time, the way these days are. Just ahead, Mark Stoops says his players remain selfless.
An improved football team is the result of a lot of competition. Stoops talked about that today. And Lafayette's highly sought-after lineman Jed Wills receiving a high honor. Sports is up next on WKYT. The Wildcats have the task this week of coming back after a tough loss and doing it on the road against the Tennessee Vols in Neyland Stadium. As the Cats have improved, there has certainly become a lot of competition at positions, certainly at running back with Boom Williams and Benny Snell. Mark Stoops said there are no issues within his team.
We preach selfless all the time, and our team has been that. We've grown so much, and we'll continue to do that. Is it always perfect for all those players? No. Was it easy in that locker room? No. Everybody wants to, there should be a competitive nature about some people that are pissed off after a game like that. Doesn't mean there's any issues. There's zero. Our team will not, I guarantee you they'll be ready to go, and they'll be ready to go to work today.
Kentucky lost on a field goal as time ran out Saturday night. Stoops said John Calipari has always been supportive, and he received a text from Cal.
No, I never am surprised with getting a text from Cal. I'd be surprised if I don't. He's always like that. He's always been good because he's always been there with supportive texts. So, believe it or not, Cal's even been there before, probably. Many years ago. But as far as, now I'm teasing, because we all have tough times as coaches. And,
All right, it'll be an early start. Kentucky and Tennessee, noon kickoff in Neyland Stadium, televised by the SEC Network. This afternoon, Lafayette offensive tackle Jed Wills named an Under Armour All-American. Wills is a 4-star recruit being courted by UK, Notre Dame, Alabama, Michigan, and others. Last year, he watched then-teammate Landon Young get the same honor, so it's been on his mind since.
It's a special opportunity. It doesn't come around often. Lexington, Kentucky, just like me, and last year was Landon. It's just something that I realize is special. It's something that I want to take advantage of when I get down there and just represent the state of Kentucky and the city of Lexington. I guess when you're sitting there watching it and you think about, well, maybe this is going to be me one day. By the time it gets there, it's just kind of like overwhelming. I guess just kind of like, whoa, it's actually happening. It's something that you dream of, and then when it comes true, it's just gives you that warm feeling on the inside.
Final exhibition turned into a dunk contest for the Wildcats last night in Rupp. Kentucky defeating Asbury by 93 Sunday evening. The Cats shot 69% from the floor thanks to 29 dunks. There were several impressive slams, but the loudest ovation came after Michael Mulder's dunk in the final minute of the game right over the Asbury defender.
I don't know who the best dunker on the team is. I saw in the layup lines, someone did a windmill, and so the next 4, 5, 6 people did a windmill. So, I don't know who the best dunker on the team is. A lot of high jumping athletic guys. And I don't know which dunk stood out to me. I really like Malik's dunk when the guy fell. I really like Bam's dunk when he went reverse. There was a lot of dunks I noticed. It's hard to really pick one out.
And another Wildcat has been named to a preseason watch list. This time it's Isaiah Briscoe. Today the sophomore guard tabbed to the Lute Olson Award preseason watch list. The award is given annually to the top Division I player with at least 2 years of collegiate experience. In the NBA, the Rockets and the Wizards, and in this game, John Wall set the Wizards franchise record for assists. It had been held by Hall of Famer Wes Unseld. Wall knocks down the jumper here. He finished with 21 points, 8 assists. Unfortunately, Wall did not finish the game. He was thrown out after getting his second technical foul for bumping the ref. The official, Mark Davis, said Wall used vulgar language. Rockets won it 114-106. And the Wizards off to a tough start. They are 1-5. We'll be right back.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is less than a minute away here on WKYT. Tonight's guests include Don Cheadle.
We are encouraging everyone to get out and vote tomorrow. Should be lovely weather for just that.
Without question. 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., mainly dry. Late day shower chance, central Kentucky. Temperatures will reach the mid-60s tomorrow night. Southeastern Kentucky, all the fires burning out of control. You have at least a chance to get some help from Mother Nature. 50 chilly degrees on Wednesday.
All right, we hope that you will tune in here tomorrow. We've got you covered all day long right here on WKYT.com and on our Facebook page as well.
We'll see you then. Have a good night.